Every skull tells a story. Your head is either shaped more like a pumpkin, wide and flat, or like an egg, narrow and tall. This can influence your breathing, your vision, your posture, and even the shape of your teeth. And most people have no idea this is happening or that it can be reversed. In today's video, we're breaking down the two most common cranial distortions, showing real cases and explaining how they form and how we fix them ourselves. Let's start with hyperflexion, the expansion type. In this case, the sphenoid and the occipital bone are stuck in a flexed open position. This affects the whole body, causing hydrocephalus, bronchial problems, headaches, myopia, and even lower back pain. The common causes of it being umbilical cord pressure in the womb, birth trauma, or falls on the coccyx. Now look at the face. The maxilla is wide but short, like a window that's open but not fully extended. The palate can also be wide but still crowded. This was Juliet's case. Julie had a hyperflexion type distortion. Her palate was wide but crowded because she was lacking forward growth, and she had many of the issues we just listed. But she fixed it through precise expansion techniques and postural work. She reshaped her cranial structure and transformed her breathing and her facial symmetry. That was Julie's case, and now we're going to talk about hyperextension, which is the compression type and my type of distortion. Here, the same bones, sphenoid and occipital, are fixed. They are stuck in the extension phase. This is why expansion is limited and everything's compressed inward. And this comes with its own issues. The most common being rhinopharyngitis, lumbar and cervical spine issue, and hyperopia, which means farsightedness. And visually, this is where things get gothic. Literally, the gothic palate is born from this distortion. The narrow, high, V-shaped palate. And again, causes can be birth trauma or trauma to the back of the head. This was my case. I had a hyperextension type distortion. My palate was narrow and high, very compressed, and my breathing and posture were all affected. But through consistent expansion work, I was able to reshape my palate, expand it, and move it forward and up. And this allowed me to reshape not only my face, but the way I carry my whole body. And these distortions happen all the time. They are very common. And Julie's and mine are only two examples, but there's so many examples. You've probably seen the movie 50 First Dates, and if you haven't, then you should. A sweet romantic comedy and also an unintentional masterclass on cranial distortions. Drew Barrymore's character shows all the classic signs of hyperflexion. She has that compressed, slightly baby-faced look that comes with a flattened cranial pattern. Meanwhile, Adam Sandler is clearly the hyperextension type, a very long and narrow head with a very high and vaulted palate. This implies more tension in the cervical spine and the jaw. You can even see it in his neck posture. It's a little withdrawn, as if his head was being pulled upward and back. I can relate so much to this because a few years ago, I felt the same way. This movie is a perfect example of how patterns show up everywhere, even on the big screens. Once you see it, you can't unsee it. And the best part, like in the movies, stories can always change. So here's the good news. These distortions are not your destiny. They can be improved and in some cases fully corrected through cranial therapy, breathing work, and tongue posture. In future videos, we'll go deeper into every other cranial distortion, how to identify and work with them. But now you know, faces tell stories, and with every video you watch, the more you can read them. If you found this helpful, hit the like and subscribe button, and drop a comment down below telling me what type of facial or postural issue you'd like to learn about next. See you in the next video.